Hey everyone, and welcome back to This Real English. I'm David.
And I'm Lily. How's it going, David?
Pretty good. I had the strangest experience yesterday. I was at a cafe, and there was this kid, maybe 4 years old, chatting away with his mom. And I just sat there thinking, wow, kids are absolute language learning machines, aren't they?
Oh, totally. I mean, they go from basically knowing nothing to having full conversations in just a few years. It's incredible when you think about it.
Right? And that got me thinking about our listeners. A lot of you have been studying English for years, maybe 5, 10 years, and you're probably wondering why it still feels so difficult sometimes.
And here's the thing, children learning their first language do it completely differently from how we learn as adults. So today, we're diving into this topic, how can we, as adult learners, actually learn English more like children do?
Exactly. And before anyone panics, no, we're not saying you need to start from scratch or pretend you're 5 years old.
That would be weird.
Super weird. But there are some genuinely powerful principles we can borrow from how children acquire language, and we're going to break those down for you today.
So grab your coffee or tea, get comfortable, and let's get into it.
All right, so let's start with the big question. How do children learn languages?
Well, think about it. When a baby is born, nobody hands them a grammar book, right? There's no vocabulary list, no conjugation tables.
Can you imagine? Okay, little Timmy, today we're covering the present perfect continuous.
Exactly. That would be ridiculous. Instead, what happens is they're just immersed. They hear language all day, every day, in context.
In context, that's the key word there. They hear, "Are you hungry?" right before they eat. They hear "time for bed" when they're tired. They hear "hot, don't touch" when they're reaching for something dangerous.
So the language is always connected to meaning, to real situations. And here's what's interesting. Children don't translate. A Spanish kid learning Spanish doesn't think, okay, perro means dog in English. They just connect the sound perro directly to the furry animal.
Right. There's no middle step. And that's something we adults really struggle with because we've been taught to translate everything.
Guilty as charged. When I was learning French, I would literally translate every single sentence in my head first.
And how did that work out for you in conversations?
Terribly. By the time I translated the sentence, the conversation had moved on like 3 topics ahead.
Exactly. So that's principle number 1, immersion and context. Children learn by being surrounded by the language and connecting words directly to experiences, not translations.
Now, here's another huge thing children do that we often forget about. They make tons of mistakes, and nobody corrects them constantly.
Oh, this is so important. Think about a kid saying something like, "I go to the park."
Right? Goed instead of went.
And what does the parent usually do? Do they say, "No, wrong"? The past tense of go is irregular. It's went.
No way, they usually just respond naturally like, oh, you went to the park? That's nice. Did you have fun?
Exactly. They model the correct form without making the child feel bad. And the child hears the right version. And eventually, naturally, they start using it correctly.
This is principle number 2, learning through mistakes without fear. Children aren't afraid to mess up because nobody's grading them or judging them.
Whereas we adults, man, we're terrified of making mistakes.
Oh, absolutely. I've had students who won't even try speaking because they're so worried about sounding stupid.
And that fear is literally the biggest obstacle to fluency. Because here's the truth, you will make mistakes. I still make mistakes in English sometimes, and it's my native language.
Same, and I've been speaking it my whole life.
So, if native speakers mess up, why are we expecting perfection from ourselves as learners?
Great point. Okay, so we've got immersion in context, and we've got learning without fear. What's the third principle?
Principle 3 is repetition without boredom. Children hear the same words and phrases over and over again.
Right, parents don't just say, give me the ball once and expect the kid to memorize it forever.
No, they say it hundreds of times in hundreds of different contexts. Can you give me the ball? Please give the ball to your sister. Who has the ball? Where's the ball?
And because each context is slightly different, it doesn't feel boring to the child. They're learning the word ball, but also how it works in different situations.
Exactly. And this is where a lot of language apps and courses go wrong. They give you repetition, but it's the same exact sentence over and over until you want to throw your phone out the window.
Yes, that's not natural repetition, that's just drill work, and our brains hate it.
But natural repetition, that's gold. That's how you actually internalize language.
Okay, so now we know the three big principles. But the question is, how do we actually apply this to our adult lives?
Right, because we're not kids anymore. We have jobs, responsibilities. We can't just play all day.
Exactly. So let's break down some practical strategies. First up, creating your own immersion environment.
If you're not living in an English-speaking country, and most of our listeners probably aren't, you need to artificially create immersion.
And the good news is, in 2025, this is easier than ever before. You've got streaming services, podcasts, YouTube, audiobooks, social media.
Right. So here's what I recommend. Change your phone's language to English.
Oh, that's a good one.
It sounds small, but think about how many times a day you look at your phone. Suddenly, you're reading English dozens, maybe hundreds of times a day.
And it's practical English too. Swipe to unlock, battery low, new message. These are phrases you'll actually use and understand.
Exactly. And then, level 2, consume content you genuinely enjoy in English. Not English learning content, I mean actual content made for native speakers.
This is so crucial. Don't force yourself to watch the news if you find it boring. If you love cooking, watch cooking shows in English. If you're into video games, watch gaming streams.
Because remember, children learn through things they're interested in. They're motivated by fun and curiosity, not obligation.
And when you're genuinely interested in the content, you'll naturally pay more attention and you'll learn more.
Absolutely. Now, here's a technique that's really powerful. Narrate your life in English.
Ooh, I love this one. So this is basically thinking out loud in English, right?
Yeah, like you're making breakfast, and in your head or even out loud if you're alone, you say, okay, I'm going to crack 2 eggs into the pan. Now I'm turning on the stove. I should probably add some butter so they don't stick.
It's like giving yourself that immersion experience. You're connecting English to your actual actions, just like children do.
Exactly. And the beauty is, you're using language you actually need for your real life.
Now, what about the fear of mistakes? How do we overcome that as adults?
This is tough because we're wired to be self-conscious. But here's a mindset shift that really helps. Mistakes are data, not failures.
I like that. Explain more.
Okay, so when a scientist runs an experiment and gets unexpected results, they don't go, oh no, I'm so stupid. They go, interesting, that tells me something.
Right, it's information.
Exactly. So when you make a mistake in English, that's information. It tells you where your understanding needs to develop. It's actually helping you learn.
And honestly, native speakers usually don't even notice small mistakes, or if they do, they don't care.
Right. We're way more judgmental of ourselves than others are of us.
So true. Okay, here's another practical tip. Find a language partner or community.
Yes, children learn language because they're constantly interacting with people. They're not learning in isolation.
And you can recreate this. There are apps like HelloTalk or Tandem where you can find language exchange partners.
Or join English-speaking communities online about your hobbies. Reddit, Discord servers, Facebook groups, whatever works for you.
And the goal isn't to have perfect conversations. The goal is just to interact, to use the language naturally.
Exactly. And this brings us to our final point. Patience and long-term thinking.
Oh, this is hard for adults.
It really is. We want results now. We want to be fluent in 3 months.
But children take years to become fluent, even in their native language.
Right? A 5-year-old is pretty fluent, but they've been learning for 5 years, full time, with constant exposure.
So if you're studying English for an hour a day, be realistic about your timeline. You're going to progress, but it takes time.
And that's okay. The journey is valuable too. You're learning about another culture, expanding your mind, opening up new opportunities.
Absolutely. And here's the thing, if you stick with it consistently, even just 30 minutes a day, the compound effect over months and years is incredible.
All right, now it's time for everyone's favorite part, the vocabulary breakdown.
We're going to go over some keywords and expressions from today's episode that might be new or tricky for you.
First up, language learning machines. Lily, when I called kids language learning machines, what did I mean?
So, a machine here is used figuratively to mean something that's incredibly efficient and effective at something. Like if someone eats a lot, you might say they're an eating machine.
Right, it's a bit informal and casual. So language learning machines means kids are remarkably good at learning languages like they're built for it.
Perfect. Next word, immersed or immersion.
This is a really important concept. Lily, can you break this down?
Sure. So literally, immerse means to put something completely underwater, like you immerse vegetables in water to wash them.
But figuratively, when we talk about language immersion, it means to be completely surrounded by the language, like you're underwater in it.
Exactly. You're not just studying it for an hour a day, you're living in it, hearing it constantly, using it all the time.
Great. Next one, conjugation tables.
Ooh, flashbacks. So conjugation is when you change the form of a verb to match the subject and tense.
Like I go, you go, he goes, we went. Those are different conjugations of the verb to go.
And conjugation tables are those charts in textbooks that show all the different forms. They're useful reference tools, but children don't use them.
Exactly. Moving on, guilty as charged.
This is a really common expression. It comes from legal language, like in a courtroom.
When someone is found guilty as charged, it means they're guilty of exactly what they were accused of.
But in everyday conversation, we use it humorously to admit we did something wrong or made a mistake. It's a lighthearted way of confessing.
Like if someone says, you ate all the cookies, you might say, guilty as charged. It's playful.
Perfect example. Next word, drill work.
A drill in education is a repetitive exercise where you practice the same thing over and over.
Like military drills, soldiers practice the same movements repeatedly until they're automatic.
Right. So drill work in language learning might be repeating the same sentence 50 times or filling out the same type of grammar exercise over and over.
And while some drilling can be useful, too much of it becomes boring and our brains tune out.
Exactly. Now here's a phrasal verb, mess up.
This is super common in everyday English. To mess up means to make a mistake or to do something incorrectly.
Right. I messed up the presentation means I made mistakes during it. It's informal but very widely used.
And you can also say mess something up, like don't mess up your hair, means don't make your hair look messy or bad.
Good distinction. Next, gold.
When David said natural repetition is gold, he wasn't talking about the metal.
No, I was using gold figuratively to mean something extremely valuable or precious.
It's like saying that's golden or that's golden advice. It means it's really, really good and valuable.
Exactly. You'll hear this a lot in casual conversation. This coffee is gold. That tip was absolute gold.
Love it. Okay, next one. Wired.
When I said we're wired to be self-conscious, I was using wired to mean how our brains are naturally programmed or built.
Right, like electrical wiring in a house. We use this metaphorically to talk about innate characteristics or tendencies.
So humans are wired to seek social connection means it's built into our nature. It's how we're designed.
Great explanation. And finally, compound effect.
This is a fantastic concept, especially for learning. The compound effect is when small actions, repeated consistently over time, lead to significant results.
It comes from compound interest in finance, where your money grows exponentially over time because you earn interest on your interest.
So, with language learning, studying just 30 minutes a day might not seem like much. But over a year, that's 182.5 hours of practice.
And that compound effect, those consistent small efforts, adds up to major progress.
Absolutely. So, don't underestimate small, daily habits.
Wow, we covered a lot today.
We really did. So, let's recap the main principles of learning English like a child.
Number 1, immersion and context. Surround yourself with English and connect it to real situations, not translations.
Number 2, learn through mistakes without fear. Mistakes are how we learn. They're not failures, they're data.
Number 3, natural repetition. Hear and use the language repeatedly in varied, interesting contexts.
And we talked about practical ways to apply these principles, changing your phone language, consuming content you love, narrating your life, finding communities.
The key is to make English a part of your daily life, not just something you study.
And remember, be patient with yourself. You're not going to become fluent overnight, and that's completely normal and okay.
Language learning is a marathon, not a sprint.
Well said. So here's your homework for this week.
Oh, we're giving homework now?
Just one simple thing. Pick one strategy we talked about today and try it for the next 7 days. Maybe it's changing your phone to English. Maybe it's watching one YouTube video a day about something you love. Maybe it's narrating your morning routine.
Just one thing. Make it easy, make it consistent, and see what happens.
And let us know how it goes.
We'd love to hear from you. What strategies are you trying? What's working? What's challenging?
Yeah, we're building a community here, so don't be shy.
All right, everyone, that's all for today's episode. Thank you so much for listening.
Remember, learning English is a journey. Be curious, be patient, and most importantly, have fun with it.
We'll catch you next time on This Real English.
Take care.
Bye.